first got cancer in 1993. In 2003, they told me to get my affairs in order. I had 6 months. In 2021, they told me it spread to my bones and lungs. They gave me 5 years. In 2023, 2 years down, and feeling about 90%. F asterisk 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 M. Just keep living out of spite. Got attacked by a robin in the morning, then attacked by a hawk 3 hours later. Weird day. Never trying that worms a million. Body wash again. Many years ago I had a terrible day, where my then GF broke up with me, then I did terribly in a final exam for a college class, then I lost my wallet, and finally, as I was doing the Charlie Brown's ad walk back home, some random branch broke off a tree as I was walking on the sidewalk underneath it, and the damn thing fell on top of me, and hit me square across the shoulder, and knocked me to the ground. I just burst out laughing, because it was so ridiculous. This triggered an old memory from my uni days. I woke up one morning and a series of small things went wrong. Think spills, broken dishes, burned clothes while ironing, corrupted assignment file on my laptop, that sort of thing, one after the other, all morning. As I was leaving my hall of residence to head to my first class, I tripped and fell on the stairs. That was the last straw. I turned around, went back to my room, got back into bed, and stayed there for the rest of that bad luck day. I have been hit in the head by live squirrels 3 times in my life, each on separate occasions. Did you have a hat that looked like an acorn? After losing an AirPod while skiing, I was able to find it the next run. I lost an earring diving in a deep mountain creek. I paddled in the water over where it fell out, and I shouted, "Watch this," to my GF and dove down 10 feet to the bottom and blindly grabbed a bunch of tiny river rocks in my fist and swam to the surface and held my fist high triumphantly. I swam to the bank to my GF and opened my hand, and it was there with the river rocks. Lost my house in civil court. Represented myself and won an appeals court twice. Since my case was unique in this state, my cases were published both times. Moving back into my old house soon. Where can I read more about your case? Also, congratulations. I underwent a surgical procedure called a stapectomy to improve the significant hearing loss in my good ear. Instead, I ended up completely deaf. My surgical end said this has only happened to 5 patients in the US. He was doing research to try to help me afterwards. I don't know how true it is, but hey, lucky me. My dad had his retinas spontaneously detaching. One popped off completely, and the other was in the process. The surgeon told him not to worry, because 100% of all his retina reattachments had been successful. The one that was in the process of detaching was fine, but after like 3 or 4 surgeries of the one that came off all the way, it'd keep popping back off, and then the surgeon was just like, sorry bro. I received my heart transplant after being on the list for only 7 hours. I had a friend of a friend in New York who needed an organ transplant. The doctor evidently told her, "You'll be waiting for a year here. Go to Florida. They have no helmet laws and year-round Sunday." She moved down and had a new liver in a few weeks. Riding my bicycle on a commercial fishing pier as a kid, I lost control and rode off the edge with a 20-foot drop to exposed rocks at low tide. I tried to stop myself going over by planting my feet on the edge of the pier, but I knew my bike was too heavy. Somehow the bike stopped halfway over at a 45-degree angle. However, now the seat was in the small of my back, preventing me from getting off, and I couldn't budge it at all to get the bike back up. A fisherman finally ran over to help me, and we decided he would pull me as hard as he could, and I'd let the bike fall. I jumped to the side as he pulled me back to the pier, and it worked. However, my bike was still there, not moving at all. When I examined what had happened, there was a piece of rubber sticking out from the edge of the pier, bent upwards in an L shape, and it passed diagonally through the spokes of my front tire and completely wedged my bike in place. It was the only spot on the 300 feet long pier with anything sticking out. I most certainly did not stop myself and my bike from going over. Dude. Damn. Hit by lightning. Sort of, indirectly. Lightning hit a tree near the wellhead while I was doing dishes. exploded the tree, fried the well, and gave me a jolt that made my metal fillings so hot they burned my tongue. Other than that, I was fine. Lightning hit a tree 20 feet from me, traveling through the water I was standing in from heavy rains, and through the metal cargo trailer I was also touching, looping through me twice basically. I woke up on the floor of the trailer with my dad and uncle looking at me like an alien. Back in community college, people thought I was dead for half a day. I was supposed to meet a friend on campus to go eat. I was running late because my dad wanted me to do something before I left. I don't remember what. I get to campus, and there's this fountain, the kind you can walk through or run about and avoid sprays of water. Around the whole fountain is a bunch of police tape. So I kind of think, how okay, weird. Then I go to the building where my friends hang out. As I walk in behind one of them, I hear them telling everyone else I killed myself that morning. Turns out that a guy matching my physical description killed himself in the fountain. Between that and what he'd said to someone before doing it, along with my appalling lack of punctuality, everyone thought it was me. I always thought the Mark Twain quote of "the reports of my death are greatly exaggerated" was badass, but I had never thought I'd have the opportunity to use it. What was their reaction when they saw you? I got a degree after aging out of foster care. I'm proud of you. Went to a county fair and found a season pass on the ground with my name on it. 4 people in my area with the same name and I know 2 of them. What are the odds of that? Apparently pretty high. Do you know Gabby Johnson, perchance? I saw an ad on a Pepsi case at a grocery store for a text to win contest to see Beyonce in concert. I figured why not and sent a text and was entered. A few weeks later I got a text back from the same number that told me I won the grand prize. I ended up winning 2 tickets to Beyonce's Mrs. Carter World Tour in Brooklyn and $500 on a Visa gift card. Use the $500 for some bus tickets and a hotel down the street from Barclays. The seats were awesome, and it is something I'll never forget. I had something similar. I randomly entered my name into a box on a Staples counter for an all expenses paid trip to Vegas, spending money, flights, hotel etc and won. However, I wasn't able to claim it because I was only 17 at the time. I instead received a $50 gift card. I was so mad. I was on a road trip with my cousins in the 80s. One of them kept playing the same song over and over by rewinding the tape and playing it again. The song was Another One Bites the Dust. After 3 plays in a row, the driver pulls out the tape, says enough, and turned on the radio. Sure enough, that song was playing on the radio right then. Back when I was in middle school, I had my phone ringtone set to the chorus of Have You Ever Seen the Rain by CCR. My dad drove me to my friend's house to pick him up, and I called him to let him know we were close. The classic rock radio station was playing Have You Ever Seen the Rain on the radio. My friend called back, and my phone and the radio were perfectly in sync to the same song. Would never have known it was ringing if it didn't also vibrate and light up. Nearly getting killed by the same reckless/drunk driver twice in 3 years. The first time in 2001, I turned right. Before I completed the turn, a Pontiac on fire zipped by going 100 to 110 miles per hour. The second near death was in the driveway in 2004. I was supposed to pick up my brother from work. This time I didn't. Instead, I hear a noise that could be heard a block away. The drunk driver smashed my car and turned it around 180 degrees. His back was 0.20. He tried running away, and the neighbor tackled him. There happened to be a police officer nearby too. Life comes at you fast. I played softball with the kid when I was 11 years old. Drunk drivers don't want their license. My cousin was killed Christmas 2021 sitting at a red light by a guy hitting him from behind at 60. The guy had had 3 DUIs. Why was that guy allowed to still be turning an ignition key without a breathalyzer? F******Q. Massachusetts. He was a great guy who made it a better world, taken out by a shithead with a proven record of making it a worse world. My dad's birthday was 3/23, my brother is 6/6, mine is 7/7 and my son is 11/11. For non-Americans, dad was born on 3/23, their brother on 6/6, op on 7/7 and their son on 11/11. Picking the slowest checkout lane in the grocery store every single time for the last 40 or so years. I too have bad checkout karma. It would be funny if it weren't so annoying. I had my car stolen from work and caught the thief myself the next day. My mom's car was stolen when I was a kid. The next day, my dad and I went to the drugstore and saw her car parked in the lot. She drove a standard and the thieves didn't know how to work the clutch. They didn't get too far unfortunately. The interior was trashed and the clutch ruined. I got bit by a groundhog. I've never researched the odds of getting bit by a groundhog, but it's gotta be pretty low, right? Do you now have the strength and skills of a groundhog? My wife and I, both right-handed, had two left-handed kids, which has around a 1% chance of happening twice. That's so interesting. I looked it up because my husband and I, both right-handed, have a left-handed kid, but we just have one kid total. Apparently, 17% of identical twins have one left-handed twin and one right-handed, and the chances of both twins being left-handed is 4%. Your kids both being lefties is more rare than twins being lefties. That's nuts. This is the dumbest story ever, but the one time in my entire life that someone asked me if I wanted to buy a pair of shoes at work is a day, a few hours later, that the sole of my shoe came off. So yeah, I bought the shoes. Coworker's husband bought wrong size shoes and not sure why they couldn't return them. Your coworker cut your sole when you weren't looking. Boom, easy sale. When I turned 23 I met my two biological half-brothers. They showed me a photo of them with our father, and in it, they're all smiling to show how the three of them are all missing a front upper middle tooth. When I was 7 I lost my upper middle front tooth, making it all 4 of us. My BF's mom was telling me and showing me pics the other day of how all 3 of her sons all got their canines in before any other teeth. They all looked like cute baby vampires in the pics.